Good morning, my amazing artists. What day is it? It is March 10th. It's about 8:30 in the morning. Stephanie Ani coming to you from the banks of the Trinity River here near Willow Creek, California in Six Rivers National Forest. We'll see if the Ozman lets me do some work. He has his morning time, but if I go out on his walk too early, then he needs 3 or 4 walks instead of just 2 or 3. So we'll see if I can get some work done. So you'll probably get another, this will probably be your second intro. So this is my beginning thought process on what I'm doing. And so I am working on my Exquisite Corpse layout. And I know this little guy's a little funny. He was the first one I did. So I had picked out some really great images and cut every single one of those images out. But Patreon did get those images, and those would have been excellent to use, and most likely much easier than what I have done here. Let's see here. So, some of them are painted, some of them are not, some of them got a little heavy. It is watercolor paper, so I might try to pull up, I think his coloring, this cool tiger dude, he's a little crazy looking, but I'm going to see if I can maybe pull up a little bit of the paint off of him. I used watercolor brushes for the most part. Watercolor pens, not watercolor brushes, watercolor pens. My Arteza pens. So, as I was doing them, it's like, should I, you know, my pages are going to move already. And then if I have water-soluble markers on here, how in the heck am I going to attach those into the book without it just being one big mushy mess? That's the dilemma, right? So that's why some of them are painted already. Some of them are colored. They're colors. Some of them are colored, some of them are not. Because of that. So hopefully when I glue them into the book and then I decide to color them after they're in the book, hopefully I don't mess up the coloring, you know? So I could technically go in and paint them. But I don't know if that's harder or easier. So we'll see how this watercolor paper even attaches to the pages that I already have finished. You know, my Exquisite Corpse pages. I don't know how it's going to work, guys. But let's get down to the table and play with it, and we'll see how it goes. Crazy stuff. All right, we'll chat soon. Bye. Where are they? Where are your balls? Where are the balls at? Are they under there? Where are they? Are they under there? Yeah, I see carrot. Will you scooch back so I can look? Seriously, let me get under the. Can I get under the dresser? Will you move so I can get under the dresser for you? Well, there's. Ooh, that's gross. That's a carrot. This is right by his bed. Oh my gosh, Oz. Look at that. Look at that. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, it's the best thing in the world. It's the best thing in the world to have 2 balls at the same time. Oh, it's so much fun to play with. Oh, you're gonna kick that one out. Okay. It will be his true joy when he can fit both of them in his mouth. Let me see. Do you have any more? Oh, more carrot. God, Oz, we're going to have to quit having so much carrot under the dresser. That's not going to be good. I hope there's no... Oh, look at that! Another one! Another one! We just rounded all of these up, I think twice already today. See. stick it back under there, you dick. He just went and threw it right back under there. Oh, it's great fun. Oh, God. Kid, you are too much. Have a kiss? Yes, you're welcome. Okay. All right, so here's one thing that concerns me. Is these seams were not reinforced. Now, there's not a whole lot of pull on them, so I don't know if I need to reinforce them. And here, here, that one looks okay. Here, I think that's okay. We're just gonna hope that they're all right. Where did I put my? There's my drawing. Okay, so I took a ruler and divided this into 3, and since we have 8 inches tall, you know, of course that doesn't divide into 3 very easily, right? 2, 2, and 2 is 6. Nope. So this is what I did. I did it like this, so it was 21. And if I did a little extra space here, I'm not a math person, guys. You know that. I could have probably figured it out pretty exact, but I don't need it to be super exact. But when I went on centimeters and I kind of evened it up in between, I went to 21, so that would be 7, and 14 is divided by 3, right? So I made a mark over here and a mark over here. And then I double checked and made sure that this here, that was 7, and that's 7 there, so that's even. That's a little bit shorter there. And it's a little bit shorter there. And for me, that's okay. They're pretty darn close. All right. So, not being an expert math person, I mean, you guys, you know, if you're an engineer out there, you can laugh all you want. You know, some people can't do math the way you can. But if you're a math person, you most likely can't do art the way that a lot of the artists that are watching can. So remember, we all have our strengths. And just because somebody can do something better than us doesn't mean that they can do everything better than us, right? Does not make them a better person. It just makes them a jerk. Okay, I am looking for the scissors here. I gotta sneeze. Oh, this is gonna come over as soon as I sneeze. I have a huge pile of mess here. I've probably got to clean this up, because this will drive me crazy. But I wanted to get these guys in here. Gotta get you a video out today. Because I've been making these little animal guys off screen. They've been, I don't know if this is the way to do this. You know, they take up a lot of time to make them. And so you kind of get in this time warp when you can't film, but you're making stuff. And that's a hard thing for me because, you know, I'm doing constant videos. And if I don't have footage to put in there, that's not good. All right, this page is super loose. That's what I'm looking at, the looseness of that page. I'm probably going to put a piece of fabric in there before I go much further with that, because that just wants to just come right up. Alright, let me find something to repair this with. Maybe something with some texture. That's plastic. We don't want plastic. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so I found this at one of the grocery stores. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Okay. The threads should help us. We're not going to have to do a whole lot of extra painting with it. It's lightweight enough. It should be good. let's just cut out 2-inch strips. Maybe 3-inch strips. 2 to 3 inch strips. Alright, be right back. Okay, now this is going to be pretty delicate operation here because this is all water soluble. And we're putting Mod Podge over water soluble. So, and we're getting it into the book. Maybe some spray adhesive, but no, we need it. We need something that really sticks in there. It's going to be interesting. It will add interesting texture to it. You know, I'm a fan of that thought. Oz, what are you eating? Dog, give it to me. Oh God, I've got to get up. We're in the middle of the delicate operation, and I've got to get up and take something out of the puppy's mouth. Puppy, what do you got? Did you get out of the garbage? Did you get a piece of paper? We can't chew on paper. That is a habit we have to break immediately. Oh, somebody needs to go out and go play ball. Get some of that energy out. Huh. And maybe we can take a morning nap? Will that work? Will you take a morning nap for me today? He's not very good about napping. Once he's awake, he's pretty awake. Truly, it's kind of crazy that way. Puppies are supposed to sleep a lot more than what he does. I see you looking at me. We'll go in just 2 seconds. Let me just make sure this is right. Just, I hear you, love. That means he's gotta go potty. Huh? Is that what you need? What do you need over there? Huh? Okay. All right, guys. I've been paged. We'll be back in a few minutes. I need to let this dry anyways. So, yes, we gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Bye. Okay. Well, it is now 9:20. Dog has been walked. He's gone potty. He had a good run. We did 6 laps, which is a half a mile. So it wasn't his big walk. His big walk goes down to the river and back. We do that. Down to the river is, as you have probably heard me talk about, it's 4 flights down, 4 flights back up. But it's super steep. I mean, we're talking like this type of an angle. I know my butt's getting stronger. It has to be. This is my little bear guy. And part of me says, do I want to do it to where I might not be wanting to use Mod Podge for this. I probably want to use something stronger since this is watercolor paper. So stiff. We're going to make sure we get it to all the edges. Little claw feet. And this is still drying. You know, of course I'll come back over it. Probably some Timber Brown. Just can probably brush it right over the top of it. It did pick up some of the ink, which is great. Did want to do that without making it a smeared mess underneath. So here's some of the yellow, some of the rust, the fired brick, some of the green, which is this metallic green. Actually, I think I will get out the tacky glue for this process. The Mod Podge worked okay though. It's I'm not sure where my jar of Mod Podge is. Actually, I want to seal him, but on the other hand, I kind of want to see if I can. This is just water on this brush. I just went and cleaned out my water. You know, if you're getting muddiness, go wash out your water jug. Since these are watercolor brushes, I was hoping that I could do this and kind of get this little bit. Yeah, that's perfect. Watercolor effect. What you're supposed to be able to do with them. So I need a different brush, one that's a little bit stiffer here. I'm pulling up some of the paint. The ink work underneath is very gestural, very fun. Just making gestures. Gestural. Weird word. Oh, he's so cool. So, then do I want to put his torso here? Or do I want to put his torso under here? I think on each page, this is going to be a little bit different from the Exquisite Corpse game that Seth based his book on. I think I want to kind of have everybody have a full body on one. And then you can flip it and it makes all the different bodies. Now, my watercolor squares, I started out with squares like this on watercolor paper. See, there I was trying to do my snake. He turned out much better, but it was, you know, having to draw on a snake. You guys have to realize, too, you know, even with that drawing that I did of Oz, I haven't tried to really draw for, well, I did quick gesture drawing. I haven't quick gesture drawn for years. I mean, we're talking, oh God. Even the picture that I did of Pete, where's my tacky glue? It's behind me. The picture that I did of my ex-boyfriend's dog, Pete. Well, no, let's see. I guess Miss Kitty was after that. So, I do pet portraits, fine drawing, and they're really very cool, and I love making them, but they are very time-consuming also. But I haven't done, you know, kind of fun, cartoony sketching drawing for a very long time. So, you know, mixed media is getting me back into art, and I love that it's kind of leading me on this progression of coming back into a fine art, you know, because I don't think that mixed media is craft. I think when you're putting this much time and effort and work into something, this is art. This isn't just craft. Not that craft is bad, but you know, I want to elevate it to fine art. This is You know, I want to bring my fine art background into this world and, you know, share whatever I know or what I'm learning with you at the same time. You know, you're watching me increase and become a better artist all the time. Right? Because that's cool. Sorry, that's cool. I love my pear. Amen. So let's see if we can, yeah, it was good to go with the tacky. Let me see if there's a better brush here. I'm looking for a little bit stiffer brush that has a little bit shorter. These angle brushes are good. They're actually very good for painting. When you are painting whatever your images, the angle brushes are great. We're just kind of doing a little blending, a little bit of lift here. We're wanting to lift some of that color. There, see, just like that. Don't scrub it too hard or you will end up, you know, damaging the fibers of the paper. So we don't want that. Well, I was just interrupted by a phone call from my bank fraud protection because I was making a whole bunch of reservations yesterday, which included plane ticket from Geneva, Switzerland to Rome. Ended up I have to go there a day early because the next flight in would have been after my family lands in Rome. So I know that my sister wants us to get up to Bologna, I believe, the first night. We're going to stay in a medieval castle, I think. Medieval tower in Bologna. Oh, that's going to be so cool. But yeah, I was chatting with my niece, Kate, who plays pro volleyball in Switzerland, and she's going to, is she getting her master's? Or I think she's getting her master's over in Switzerland right now. So, chatted with her a little bit yesterday on Facebook Messenger. Hopefully I didn't wake her up. But, you know, needed to get the details down on when she was going to be available. And she's not going to be able to meet me in Paris, which makes me really sad. But Paris is going to be incredible. Ends up that I am about 7 blocks away from Montremer. I don't know. That is where all the Impressionists lived. And so if I go north, that's that way. If I go, I'm thinking of the map in my head. If I go south, that's where the Louvre and the d'Orsay is. So I'm kind of right in the heart of where I want to be. Oh, I'm so excited about this trip. But to spend the afternoon with Kate on Friday, I had to, get my flight from Switzerland to Rome. Oh, I also had to get the train ticket from Paris to Switzerland. I'm going to take the super fast. And I am going to do probably the Flat Stanley project. Something like that. But I doubt I'll do Stanley. Maybe we'll do an Aussie. Maybe do a flat Oz. What do you think? Because I can't do a little dude in a tie. Come on. That's no fun. And the Flat Stanley project is similar to a little troll. How you can take the troll around and takes pictures all over the place. Well, that's kind of similar to what this feels like for me. The Flat Stanley project. Okay, Shane Shane sent me the link, which was very sweet of her to do yesterday, to show me what Flat Stanley was. What fun. And yeah, I think that would be a great project. But I think I need to do a Flat Oz, not a Flat Stanley. What do you think, guys? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so I'm cutting this to where it's got a little bit of a space in there. And of course I'm going to go through and edge everything and stabilo everything. And, between the timber brown and the... Here, sorry, just a second. I have to think for a minute. Maybe here. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see if I can do this before I lay this down. Dry off the paintbrush. Gotta be an easier way to do this, right, guys? I know some of you know the easier way to do this. And remember, guys, I learn from you as much as you learn from me. And I'm loving that everybody is sharing their work that they're making on Messy Hands. How awesome. I love that you guys are being positive for everybody, that you are being brave enough to share. Laura shared some gorgeous drawings, or a gorgeous drawing that she did, and then she was sharing some resin art. It just got me thinking about, all my drawing teachers. And I do think drawing is probably my most successful art form. As far as fine art goes, it's one thing that I can be very precise with. So even doing cartoons like this, I haven't really done a lot of cartoons because my work is very nature-oriented always. So this mixed media has really allowed me to break out of that. But, I've had so many drawing teachers over the years. And, how can you ever just say, well, this teacher, taught me everything that I know, or, anything like that. That's not how we learn. And that's why in art school, they make you take, gosh, how many drawing classes did I take over the years? If you include life drawing with that on top of it, I've had probably 2 full semesters of drawing. Probably 16, 18 credits. I've had drawing 1 to drawing 4 for my associate's degree. I've had drawing, probably, each individual artist that you learn from has something valuable to teach you. And there is no way to attribute all of your skills to one single artist, nor should there be. We are conglomerations of all of the people that we learn from, and from our own point of view, from our own eye. And I absolutely encourage everyone to learn from as many different artists as they possibly can. I think it is important for us all to... I still am learning. If I'm not learning, it gets boring to me, right? I want to do something new. I want to do something innovative. I want to find out the next thing that people are trying. The cool thing for me is the next thing that people are trying is generally something that's been around for a few years. I'm just discovering it because I'm new to mixed media. You know, I've been doing it for a little bit over a year now, so for me, it feels like I'm new. I've been doing art since I've been 4 years old, so I am not new to art by any means. I have, you know, as you guys know, I have a very good degree from one of the top 10 art schools in the country. So art is something that is in my blood. I'm still paying for those student loans from that art college that I had. You know, it ended in 1996. You know, I was in a gallery for a short time with my fine art, but that was in Wyoming. So I just didn't have any luck because I wasn't doing cowboys or Indians on horseback. Honestly. But, oh my God, what was his name? Richard. He was in my, he was my instructor at Casper College. One of the drawing instructors. But he was great. Yeah, he had interesting projects for us to work on. And technical projects. You know, they weren't the most exciting all the time. But they did teach us. You know, then life drawing. Oh my gosh, you know. So much life drawing. Oh, come on. Quit pulling off of there. I thought I cut you. Yeah. How many art instructors have I had in probably 6 years of art school? I went, I was always an art major. Always. God, Mr. Dean Dartman from Casper, Wyoming. He was my high school art teacher. And, God, he was a great guy. He was really a sweet guy. You know, I don't remember much about his art, but I do remember that I was producing some great stuff in his class. And truly, it was the only class that I liked in high school. Now, I didn't have an easy time of it in high school. You know, I just didn't. I was still, you know, not understanding how to learn. I was having conflict with a teacher who, the other art teacher, God, forgot about this guy. He was a dick. He was a jerk. You know, in order to mount your finished artwork, you had to pay him back by displaying it. I don't know if I had, or was he taking my art? He might have been trying to take my art, and I fought it because I was like, no, you don't get to have my artwork. You don't. You don't get it. Now, in college, they take your artwork if they want to, which is so completely wrong. I think it's incredibly wrong that they do that. There's not a lot of teachers that do it, but they're, oh, well, they're examples. No, it's my artwork. You don't get to take my art. Well, it's my class, so that's part of it. And yeah, really, that shouldn't be part of it. But anyway. Anyways, if any of you have been to art school, I would love to hear your experiences with it. You know, for me, you know, you'd go to school all day or all night, you know, 3-hour classes. So for 3 credits, here's what people don't realize. It's like, oh, well, just go and take an easy class, or easy, art's not a real elective. Yeah, you have no clue. You have no clue as to the amount of work that goes into being an art student. Each class is 3 hours long, twice a week for the semester. So you are putting in 6 hours of class to get 3 credit hours. So, and then you have your mid-semester project and your semester project, and you have homework every night from those same classes. So this is how it was actually, you know, in the 90s. I don't know what it's like now. Probably nothing like that, because they probably can't, the students are probably revolting against those types of hours. But so for one art credit hour, for one drawing class, you are going 6 hours a week for what, 3 months? And that's for one class. You know, you times that times 16 or 18 credits, you're spending a lot of time completely focused on your craft. And, you know, there's nothing easy about getting an art degree. Nothing. You know, math classes don't last 3 hours twice a week. They last 1 hour. You know, some math classes, of course, are an hour. You know, it just, of course, it just depends on what the class is and whatnot. I know Spanish was Spanish daily, an hour a day. God, that sucked. Talk about a class where I did not learn anything. Hola, buenos días, ¿cómo está? Muy bien, gracias. But, you know, what an amazing, you know, I envy people that are going to school or taking classes. I, you know, wish I could be doing that myself. But I also wish I could be teaching, you know, in a university situation. I needed my master's degree to teach in a university. And Wyoming didn't have an art program anymore. So then to get my master's degree, I would have had to go out of state, which the tuition was too expensive and I just couldn't swing it. And, you know, all of that stuff. Life stuff. And then I went into office work and put the art aside. But, you know, office work paid the bills. Mostly. Not that I had any love for it. In fact, I've had more bad bosses than I think anybody could ever have. Oh my god, I had some of the biggest jerk bosses. I worked at restaurants and bars for a while too, when I was just starting out with jobs. And I don't know how I got every single short man with such a bad short man syndrome. Oh, they were just assholes to work for. You know, I don't know how I kept running into jerks. Kind of the same thing in love life, I guess. Oh well, it's life. Gotta make $1, so we put up with the crap, don't we? Now, I'm probably making those slots a little bit too big, but I'm okay with that because I want them to be able to float freely like this here, you know, without getting caught up on each other. So I think I'm accomplishing my goal, right? So I've got one. I don't know if I want to cut this last page or not. I'm not going to cut it at this point in time. If I want to cut it later, I can. I kind of like having the treasure box separated there. And yes, I'm good with having this bronze here, or I wouldn't be doing it. Right? think that's dry enough over there that I can work like this. I'm going to do this and bring it back. Okay. Make sure you're in here all right. This one, no, this one doesn't, okay. Now I can come back in with some highlights, some dots, some really cool fun things, right? This will get painted down, of course, you know, so that it's a nice color that matches. I think it blends in gorgeously with the background. Look how cool that is. Awesome! Better not do that too much or I'll wake the dog up again. I'm still drinking my morning coffee because before a pooper's walk, I only had 1 cup. I think he's very cool. Where's my body? There's Tiger. Where is it? It's painted. Wait till you see the camel and the zebra. Oh my god, they're so much fun. Giraffe. Where's Elephant's body? Are you kidding me? There it is. My fridge is talking in Morse code again. Okay, so that's where the feet need to go. I'm actually even going to use Fabri-Tac here. I do not want these pieces to come up. I do not want there to be any issues with them. It's watercolor paper, which is very stiff. This guy's glued on tight, so we're going to use him as our base for everything else. He's so cool. These guys were fun to make, but definitely challenging. If you have a children's book that has circus animals in it, or different animals, that might be a really good way to get some drawing ideas. I just went off the internet and picked up drawing ideas that way. I can actually show you what where I got the inspiration from. I did draw all of these by hand. I did not trace any of them. They are all 100% my original artwork. Let's get a little bit more on that. Is it on? Is it going to stay on? Did I get that okay? I think I got it okay. All right. So, the Exquisite Corpse, I explained it in the first video. Again, I got it, the idea off of Seth Apter's blog. As far as the exact link for it, I don't know, because the link that I had in there didn't work, I'm told. So just go to, just Google Seth Apter Exquisite Corpse, and it should come up. He's a pretty well-known guy in the art world. And he's a very sweet, kind, gentle soul on top of it. If you ever get a chance to take one of his classes, absolutely do it. You will learn a lot. He does really show you a way to free up your expression, which is nice, especially for me, because I'm so controlled about everything. And do yours, guys, however you want to do them. This is how I want to do mine. I want to have one page be the actual animal itself, and where we can exchange it however. All right? If you want to put your pieces wherever you want to put them, you do it your way. This is my way. This is how I have decided to do my book. I am also going to be doing this side, too. So I'm doing a double-sided. I have drawn 11 animals. But this guy here, he got pretty heavy in color too. So let's just look at that really fast. We'll just kind of let that water soak in. Better. See? Put it on. Now, when you're watercolor painting, this is the exact way that you would lighten up your colors. It's a blotting technique, obviously. Do a light scrubbing. Do not do a heavy scrubbing. Okay? Again, this was one of the first ones. This was the second one I did. I did the tiger first. I did the elephant second. By the time I was, to the bear, I had learned how to lighten up the touch a little bit. Thankfully. And then the other ones I just didn't color in because I was worried about it. How it would all work together. Now, I am taking down the brightness of his belly. Right there. That's what I did. So here's a benefit to working with the watercolor brushes, right? You have a greater control over the medium. And with working with watercolor paper, you can apply a lot of water to it, and it's still not getting all the way through to the other side. So... I'll get a little belly here, a little fiction. A little lightening up in there. Could actually probably come in with actual watercolor paints. Now that it's all nice and wet. Where are my pens? They're over there. Yeah, a little bit better. It just got a little dark in there. Like, okay, well, what do you want to, how do you want to show that region? Just show it. Just show it. They should make a children's book out of this, huh? Wouldn't that be something? That would be cool. Send it into a publisher. Say, hey, make this. besides just Stampington, because we know this will go to Stampington. Right? Okay, so I'm just going to continue to do this process. And, you know, where I first put down these, see, and here's one of the purple. And just paint. That leaves actually a really cool texture behind. That worked. Like that. Here, we can do this with this guy. Oh, pretty. So since your watercolor paper is nice and damp, you will get a bleeding effect. Like right there, that's bleeding, where it moves up. Moves on the paper. It's okay. In this case, a lot of times, you know, bleeding is not something that's always desired, but I think in this aspect it's fine. And I'm just taking clear water. Have it be clear water, guys. Don't use mud. You know, if you feel like you keep getting mud, just gotta wash your water out more. Love that. Kid just woke up. Wandering around. What are you doing, kid? What are you doing, love bug? Gonna come out here and lay out with me? It's cooled down out here enough. I get cold, and so I crank up the heat, and then he gets hot, and then he goes into the bedroom and lays down. Which is just fine. I don't need him to need to be right next to me all the time. That's not good for him to have that type of separation anxiety, you know? Drop your shadow where you want your shadow. We know that elephants have kind of these big wrinkly skins, so let's kind of accentuate that just a little bit more. There's the shadow there for his ear, and then a shadow under his mouth. Shadow to delineate that line just a little bit, just a touch. And then a little more color in his trunk. Killing any white lines, because there will be white lines with this, with watercolor paper. So let's kill those. But it also gives them a little bit of an outline too. And we know we'll go back through in Stabilo and it gives an extra outline. And of course the watercolor brushes give great outlines. And see how easy that is to just cut that edge when you use a watercolor brush. Alright guys, I'm going to stop here for now, and hopefully I'll get this done today, and then I can bring you back later. Don't forget that purples work great as your shadow colors, alright? Because it's a blue tone. Shadows are blue or purple. Shadows are cool colors, alright? Now, even shadows have highlights. What? Yes. So even within when something has a highlight, it has 3 tones within that highlight. You have the highest light, you have a mid highlight, and you have a low highlight. And then you have your middle tones that you can still break down into those 3. But then if you go into your shadows can have a highlight, a mid light, and a low light. And if you want to check out that theory, what I want you to do is next time that you're taking a little walk, look at tree leaves. Or bushes, right, that are in the shade. And if you're in the shade, they're not, getting direct light. So take a very close look at the leaves and the things that are around you, and you can see that the shadows have highlights and lowlights. Really study the color. We're looking at color and tone and intensity and brightness. And just by doing that, you'll get a better understanding of color, and it's learning how to observe your world around you. Hugely important and incredibly helpful as an artist, right? Now, of course, if you don't care about it, then don't do it, But I think a lot of you are here at my channel because you want to be better artists and you want to learn about fine art. I don't think that you would be here if you didn't want to learn about the things that I am telling you. I'm not, I don't teach fluff, right? I try not to. I try to have good content, and I try to have things that are relevant and interesting and important to know. It's part of my goal as a teacher. Steffi, what did your 6 years of school? Well, longer than that, actually. Ever since I could take art as an elective, I did. I've been doing art since I was 4. And I stopped doing art for many, many, many years. Many years. That was funny. I didn't even realize I was working on that other page. I thought I was still working on the elephant page. That's good. When it doesn't really register to my brain that I'm working on a different page within the layout. And I will, of course, continue to color those threads. It just having white threads sitting there like that, just, of course, it's off-putting to me. All right. I can't stop. Alright guys, please be sure to like, comment, and share. Well, actually, let's see. I don't know if I'll bring you back or not. Because I might give you the real intro is just having this all finished. I don't know. Well, maybe I'll bring you back though to show you how I'm going to paint these other guys. Well, you got a pretty good idea of it. This got really dark right there. Just put a big glob of water, clear water, and lift. See? Not scrubbing. Scrubbing will damage. Don't damage. It's got a little dark through there. I dig him. I dig him too. Okay, I'm going to go through and put the rest of the cheesecloth on and cut the rest of these pages. I guess just this page. And then glue on the other animals, and then I'll bring you back to show you how I paint the animals. Okay, so I've got a full day of work ahead of me, right? So already on this layout, I have taken hours and hours and hours to decorate all the pages. You know, just gluing all the pages together. It takes time to do something that's really stunning and different. It's going to take time. And that's okay. We have time. We don't have to do it fast. We can sit and putter on this one particular layout for a month if we want to. Right? I just want to try to get the circus book finished by the 15th. I want to get it done so that when I come back from Europe, I can just make something more. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so inspiring. This is an artist's dream trip, is what this trip is. Tell you what, guys, I'm so stoked. I've been wanting to take this trip since I was 13. All right, we'll chat soon. Bye. Hello, artists. Okay, well, we are back. It is now 4:46. I did go outside and work for quite a while, and Oz and I, with the work that I've done and with walking, we have gone about 4.5 miles today. So we spent quite a bit of time outside, but I wanted to show you my progress here. And I need to get this video up, so if I want to get it edited today and up for you today still, I need to stop it here because this has taken all day to get all of these animals in here and to get the cuts cut correctly. I am leaving definite space in between each cut, and I might even accentuate that more. His little neck doesn't really match up here too much, but maybe we can make him have, I think I had him have kind of this punk mullet hairdo here. My mullet camel. And then there. So then we can go here, and here, and here, here. And then we can go here, and here, here, here. So these will all get painted. These are going to be very dark, so you almost won't even see them. So remember, those legs would be very dark in the background. But I wanted them to be in there for the horse. Just do some extra line work in there. And bring this line down in here. I think my watch is telling me I need to go walk. I've already put in 4.5 miles. Watch. And this will also be quite dark back here. So the main focus is going to be in here. Hey, you don't have to eat that all at once. Hold on. There it is, guys. All right, I'm going to put this up and then I'm going to color.